Hey guys, Vick here, back with another review. Today we are looking at this beast, this X-Taste 250 watt mod. Brand new mod from a brand new company, X-Taste. X-taste.com is the website. It has quite a lot going on here, So what is it? It is a 250 watt mod from a brand new company called X-Taste. It has its own lipo battery. It comes with its own software, X-Taste Advance, which is a bit like escribe. It allows you to do all the adjustments and things on your computer for the mod. It has a 1.3 inch LED display, and yeah, it's capable of chucking out 250 watts. So we'll go down low. There's a lot to show. Actually, I'll show you a screenshot right now of the X-Taste Advanced software, just so you can see what we're looking at here. So that's what you've got there. You're able to adjust all your settings, how long the screen stays bright, the way the coil behaves, your ramp up, Fahrenheit, Celsius, all those options like that, and you can upload and download from the mod those settings. So that's the X-Taste Advanced. I should also say as well, this is a firmware upgradable mod. In fact, if you receive the mod and it has version 1 firmware on it, then it will barely work. The mod will barely work at all. What you need to do is immediately download the latest firmware version. The current version is 1.05, and that has a lot of fixes to a lot of problems on it. What I should say is I'm not sure if the firmware works with Macs, and I'm not sure if the X-Taste Advance works with Macs either. I couldn't get the firmware to update with anything other than a Windows 10 PC. To do with drivers and things. There is a way of making it work, but it was very painful. On a Windows 10 PC, however, it did update fine. So bear that in mind. Okay, so we'll go down low and I'll try and show you all that this mod can do, which is a lot. And then we will come back up top with a lot of pros and cons. See you in a second. Okay guys, here we are up close with the X-Taste 250 watt mod, designed in Singapore, made in China. X-Taste, x-taste.com. X-Taste is the company. It's a brand new mod from a brand new company, and this is the box. Very fancy packaging indeed. You take that sleeve off and you're left with like sort of a leather bound thing. You get a manual. Your battery will be in here, and a charge/data cable will be in here. So that is that. Put all that there. The battery is let's try and get this out. There you go. The battery is their own sort of proprietary lipo. Let's see what it says. 1350 mAh, 9.9 watt hours. There's all the details and specs about the battery. The battery life has been excellent. There's been no issues along those lines, and it literally just clips in like that. And then you put this door on. The door just goes push. You just push the door on like that. And you just clip it all in like that. I complain about the door up top quite a lot. What you've got to do, the door's a bit janky, but what you do is you just push it really hard in all four corners, and it eventually goes down flush. You can see that this is flush now. The door, considering how well made the whole mod is, the door is surprising because it's just a little bit of plastic. But like I say, if you do just give it a really good push in all the corners, and it does. There you go, and it does click in all nice and smooth. So that's not as big an issue as I go on about up top, but it is surprisingly flimsy compared to the rest of the mod. The other thing I go on about up top, and I do stand by that, is this 510. It's raised 510, and it's only like 18mm, and so atomizers do look crazy on top. It really needs to be a completely flat top with a flush 510. That would make such a big difference to the aesthetics of this mod. Okay, so when you press it and it's off, this light comes on here. So what you want to do is get it turned on like that, and we are now on. Now, to go into the main menu, you've got a lot going on the screen. You've got your memory option. You saw I'm in memory 1, which is 70 watts, standard power, cancel A1. There's your puff time, there's your voltage, there's your battery level, and there's your ohms. If you press this one here, you go into your menu, and then you've got your control. You can change from wattage to temp. You've got your coil, cancel A1 in my case, but it has all the different coils. Units, Fahrenheit, Celsius. Battery tells you about your battery mode and stuff. Checking the battery tells you where the battery's at. Then you've got your settings. You can change how long all your shit goes down. And then you've got your power off, and that is how you turn it off. You press that to turn it off. When you're in here, 1, 2, 3 locks it, so you can't fire it. 1, 2, 3 unlocks it, so you can fire it again. If you hold down this, you can change your wattage. If you hold down, sorry, you can change your wattage up and down. If you just press down, it scrolls through your memories like that. And if you press the down button rather than hold the down button to go into the menu, you can flick between standard, powerful, soft, etc. So that is how it works. I'll give you a little tour of the mod like that, and I'll put on top an RDA. Oh. And you can see how it doesn't really like sit flush or anything. It's quite frustrating. But you can see that it is now firing up and working a treat. So we'll go back up top. Okay guys, that was the X-Taste 250 watt up close. A lot going on. It's incredibly complicated screen interface, options, menus, all kinds of stuff going on, and that's before you even start throwing in the X-Taste advanced software and all that stuff and updating your firmware and all that. It's a complicated mod, you know, it's very advanced. They've gone straight in the deep end with this mod, they really have. A couple of things I really dislike about this mod, and I've got to say them straight away because they are like at the forefront of my mind. They really stress me out. The first one is this top. If you look at the actual top of the mod, this should just be flat. This should just be flat like any other mod like these days, but it's not. It's like a raised up 510, and it's on this crazy bendy shape. So all atomizers bigger than like 18mm look absolutely crap on top. They look rubbish. Everything looks rubbish on top of this mod, and for me that is a deal breaker. I'm not super bothered about fanciness and how things look. I like a nice looking mod, but it doesn't have to be a nice looking mod. But that just spoils the look of every atomizer on here. That whole top plate needs to be flat with a flush 510, and that's a big thing for me. Really stresses me out about this mod. The other thing is the door. The door is just a tiny little bit of plastic. It's just a tiny little bit of plastic. You've got such a solid big mod here, and then it's just got this tiny weird flaky plastic bit of door, and it's really hard to get this door to sit nice and flush and neat. If you see like that, can you see there where it's like raised out of the case, and on this side you can see how it's like sort of warpy. It's a bit warped. That's really annoying. That's so bad. I don't know how to get this door to fit well. It just doesn't seem to want to fit at all. If the X-Taste guys are watching, please send me a better door, because I'm finding it really annoying. So those things, like, you go to so much trouble to make such a fancy big mod, and then you've got two like glaring errors. Like, no advanced vapor would ever tell you that that is a good idea on top. And the door, that just seems like terrible quality control. So those two things are really, really frustrating. Other negatives, the way the mod comes. I don't know if the production version will be like this, but my mod came with the version 1 firmware, which just didn't work at all. You can't send out a mod that doesn't work and then tell people to update it. It needs to come with at least a working version of firmware. I don't know if that's because they were rushing them out to reviewers or what, but until I updated it with the firmware, which was a bit of a pain in the arse, until I updated it, it was unusable, and that's really annoying. All that being said, though, the actual board on here, once you've updated it and everything, it does actually seem to work really well. In wattage mode, I don't know if it's slightly underpowered, but that's no big deal. You can just turn up the wattage a bit more. It's also got the standard, soft and powerful modes and all that stuff as well, so it might just need more playing with to get to what I would expect to achieve on another. But I'm just using this at 70 watts where I might on another mod use it at 65, you know, so that's not a big deal. The screen's really good, easy to read and that. It does kick out the power. I used it a lot in TC mode, and it's absolutely fine in TC mode. You know, it allows you a lot of options in TC, which is great, and it did work absolutely fine with nickel coils. So TC is fine on it. Overall, there is a good mod here. I think a V2 needs to happen though. A V2 that fixes the door, fixes the top, comes with up-to-date good firmware. And they just have another go. I like the proprietary battery. I don't have a problem with that. You just charge it via USB, no problem there. I think that's actually very sensible, and it also means I could buy another I could just buy another battery if I wanted off them, and then I'd have 2 batteries, and they're very easy to change out. So that's absolutely fine. This door though, oh my goodness. So yeah, so a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, it does what it's meant to do once you've updated the firmware. It kicks the power. It can really put out that power. It's got all the options, got all the menus, got the X250 advanced software. It's got so much going on, but it's got those really, really frustrating flaws as well. So really, it's just going to come down to your personal take as well. For me, I would not buy this mod, but the mod has been performing quite well for me. So we'll leave it at that. I've been Vaping Vic, and I'll see you again really soon.